Hi, my name is Nick Russell. I am an editor here at Pineapple Discord, and this is my Rogue One review. So I saw Rogue One yesterday at 8, pretty much the earliest anyone could see it. I went into it wishing for the best and preparing for the worst, and I was happy overall. I enjoyed the movie overall. All right, so let's just jump right in. Obviously, spoilers. Like, don't watch this if you haven't seen Rogue One, because there will be major plot spoilers. It seems to go without saying, but I have to say it regardless because it's the internet and people will get mad at me. So right off the bat, a few general reactions. You could tell pretty much right off the bat that it was going to be a different kind of Star Wars because there was no title crawl and the music was different. It was actually not composed by John Williams. This was I believe, the first Star Wars that John Williams has not done anything for. I loved the cast. The characters there were a lot of diversity in the characters. I know one of the largest complaints about Star Wars is that it's a lot, there's a lot of white characters, and like the only main black characters are Mace Windu and Lando, and now Finn. There's a lot of diversity in this Star Wars, which I liked. I liked a lot. I thought it was really cool. There was also a great use of alien races that we've never seen before. It was cool to see main alien characters besides Chewbacca and Yoda. Yeah, the planets in this movie. There are so many different kinds of settings that we've never seen before. Like, there was not a single Tatooine in this whole movie, or Jakku. Every movie has taken a large portion on a desert planet, and this one did not. There was a small little bit on this planet called Jedha, which sounds suspiciously like Jedi, but there wasn't a whole lot on that planet. It was just a lot of cool areas. Yeah. Right at the beginning of the movie, the main character's kind of origin story, they started out. It almost felt like Tatooine because there was underground structures and what looked like moisture farmers, like what we saw from episode 4, but it was on a planet that had grass and fields and stuff like that. It was not a desert, which was cool. It was this aspect that you saw in episode 4 exists outside of Tatooine. There are other types of farmers and other types of outer rim planets that aren't just all desert. So it was really cool. There was a lot of cool places that we got to see. The AT-ATs walking down the beach on that one final planet that we saw with the relay station. That beach was really cool. Because it's we've never really seen Star Wars on a beach before. Yeah, and then this movie provided a lot of closure. We got an answer to the largest Star Wars plot hole, which was, how did the Empire not see this glaring defect in their perfect battle station? So it was really nice that they're kind of making this a more realistic Star Wars universe instead of one full of fantasy and coincidence. It tied up a loose end, and I appreciated that. What else was I going to say about closure? What did I want to say about closure? There was another thing. There was the plot hole, and then there's something else. Oh, yes. The end scene. We got to see the lead up, the build up to the introduction of A New Hope. That was so cool that we got to see more than just that one hallway on that ship, you know? Because it's the first thing we see in Star Wars, and it's cool that we get a little backstory on it now. We got to see what led up to the beginning of the most influential movie series of all time. The most relevant, I should say. The most relevant movie series of all time. There was a lot of callbacks. There was a lot of characters that we had seen in episode 4 that they brought back. We got to see Tarkin again. We got to see that the dude with the white beard who did the briefing at the end of episode 4. We got to see Mon Mothma. We did not get to see Admiral Akbar, which I would have liked. I guess maybe that would that would not have lined up time-wise because he's still around for episode 7. I mean, I don't know how long Amon Calamari's lifetime is, but I'm assuming it's... I don't know exactly, but it'd be kind of crazy that he was a general from Rogue One up until Force Awakens. That's a long time to be a general for. It was cool seeing another side of some arguably shallow characters. So those are my general responses to Rogue One. Here is some stuff that I liked, and there's a lot of it. I liked a lot of this movie. My first thing that I absolutely loved, K2SO. Oh my goodness, he was a hilarious character. He was a phenomenal character. I loved that droid. Like, I have never been sad seeing a droid die because I'm like, oh, well, they can just repair him. But I was sad seeing this droid die. Spoiler alert, he dies. But, I already said spoiler alert, so if you haven't watched it, stop watching this video. This droid almost replaced BB-8 for my favorite droid. And that's a lot to say because I have BB-8 and I don't have K2SO. But yes, I loved this droid. Oh my goodness, I cannot say enough about this droid. He was a very three-dimensional droid, which is fun. Watching him, every scene that he was in, I laughed because this droid was so funny. Actually, this movie all around was just it was a very witty movie. There was a lot of, it wasn't forced humor. I felt like there were some moments in Force Awakens where it was 2015 humor seeping into a Star Wars movie. Like that one scene where Oscar Isaac is on the ground and he's like, so what happens? You talk first, I talk first, what's this gonna do? That felt like a very out of place scene in Star Wars. There were no humor moments like that where it was like, ugh, that didn't really belong. Every bit of humor felt like it belonged, which I'm very appreciative of. This movie's action was awesome. These past 2 Star Wars, the action has gotten better and better. There was this one scene where there is, what do they call it? The Hammerhead something, where he pushes into the Star Destroyer and it falls into the other Star Destroyer. So it's like this, and it just basically shaves off the entire top of the Star Destroyer, and then they fall into the shield, and the shield breaks. I thought that scene, oh, that was so cool. Oh, that was so cool. Because you don't really see the Star Destroyers in close combat. You see them shooting at things, and then you see the TIE Fighters in close combat, but you never really see a Star Destroyer crashing into another Star Destroyer and them falling onto a planet. That was just, that was so cool. This end scene with Darth Vader. Oh my goodness. I was watching this movie, and the whole time I was like, when are we going to see Darth Vader be just a complete badass? I feel like we never really saw Darth Vader just slaying. This whole movie I was like, when are we going to see Darth Vader be awesome? When are we going to see him just tearing rebels to shreds? And it was at the end, and the Death Star had hit the planet, and I was like, well, that's the end of the movie. I mean, I guess we got cheated and didn't get to see Darth Vader in his prime. And then that scene, you hear his breathing, and it's all dark, and then the lightsaber ignites, and you can see the red glow against his helmet, and then he just goes ham, just destroying rebels. And oh, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Oh my goodness. I love Darth Vader. Seeing the action of Darth Vader was so good. It was so good. I thought they wasted him. I really did. And then that scene happened, and I was very appeased. Oh, that was good. It was good stuff. I like the fact that it backed right up to episode 4. I kind of saw that happening. I kind of pretty much happened how I expected it to. I expected them to pretty much meet, besides maybe a chunk of a few minutes. I said it already, but we got to see the build up of that scene in episode 4. All right, this next point I'm not sure if I like it or not. We kind of got to see the dark side of the Rebel Alliance, and I'm hesitant to use the phrase dark side because obviously it's not the physical like dark side of the Force, but like we kind of got to see an eviler side of the Rebel Alliance, which makes sense, I guess, because they were talking about how this movie is going to be a grittier take on Star Wars. So it would make sense that we would see a little bit of dark side in the Rebel Alliance. I think that's a good way to put it. A little bit of dark side in the Rebel Alliance. When I say like dark side, I'm talking about like that one scene where Cassian, he's in the alleyway with that one guy and he shoots him because the one guy can't climb up the building. Like that was really dark. So yeah, I guess it's good. Like it was cool seeing a grittier part of the Rebel Alliance. That's why I have this under my things I like instead of things I didn't like. So that was what I liked about Rogue One. Now here's what I didn't like. Now obviously most of these things are me being nitpicky, but I mean it's Star Wars. I'm allowed to be nitpicky along with the rest of the entire planet. Especially this first one. This first one is a little bit of me being nitpicky again. Yeah, so we saw a lot of weird animation. What I mean by weird animation is like I'm mostly talking about Tarkin. His face reminded me of Tron when they animated the evil Jeff Bridges. It made me think of that. It was just slightly weird, and I think they could have done that better. Same with Leia. I mean, it was cool that they added her in there, but I don't think it was necessary, really. It just it gave it a little bit of a prequel feel with the animation. Yeah, I mean, I guess I am being a little bit nitpicky because it wasn't all green screen like it was with the prequels, but I don't know. Again, me being nitpicky, I feel like it could have been more practical effects and less CGI. Yeah, it didn't really take away from the entire experience of the movie all that much. It was still a good movie. All right, this next one, I don't know exactly what I expected, but everyone dies. It's kind of a bummer, but again, I don't know what I expected because they aren't in episode 4, so it makes sense that they all die. But I just wish they would have found some way around that. I mean, it's just a bummer. All the main characters, the ones you've been following the whole plot and love, are all dead now. So, that sucks. And again, if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, but I told you at the beginning of the video that there would be spoilers. This is one of those major plot spoilers. Yeah, but everyone died, and that sucked. Moving on. I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. So, moving on. There were these, like, odd lulls in action. Or not really action, but just, like, general movie, like, pacing. And then, like, they would jump right into very intense action. It made the movie seem a little choppy at some points. Like, there was this... I want to say it was like right when Cassian got shot, and Jyn is looking down, and there's just like a quiet in the music, and then she begins climbing again. But then like the scene cuts, and it jumps right to this space battle up top, and it's like very like loud music, and I like in the theater I like physically jumped because I was so like, whoa, that was fast. It was just weird. I don't know. It just seemed kind of, like I said, choppy. That's a major like filmmaking complaint I have. Not really storytelling, but filmmaking. All right, this next one, I bet some people probably enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of cheesy, but like, Darth Vader made a pun. Like when he's strangling that guy in the white robe, he like turns around and goes, "Don't choke on your aspirations," and then he lets him go, and that just did not feel very Darth Vader to me. It felt very cheesy. I don't know, it was just, I guess that's one of those moments where it's kind of out of place in a Star Wars movie. Maybe some of you enjoyed it. It was like Darth Vader making a dad joke. I don't know, I just thought it was weird. Sticking with Darth Vader, we didn't get to see him like kill someone with the Force. We only saw him use it once, and he let the guy go. I think it would have been cool to see him. Maybe I don't know. I think it would have been cool to see him kill someone. We didn't see a whole lot of Darth Vader, actually, in general. I think I would have liked more Darth Vader in general. I guess that's another way of them setting apart this movie from the rest of the Star Wars. Like, Darth Vader's the only one in the entire movie who uses a lightsaber, and you really only see it for like 2 minutes of screen time. Lastly, though, I didn't hear a Wilhelm in there. There was this one stormtrooper who died, and there was a weird scream, but it did not sound like a Wilhelm scream. It was almost like when you die in Lego Star Wars, and it's like that kind of scream. Maybe that's another way of them setting it apart, like less of a fun movie and more of a dark, gritty war movie. I might have missed it. Maybe I'm just bad at watching movies, but yeah. Those are my ramblings for Rogue One. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. You are entitled to your own opinion. I'm not going to force you into anything. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Bye.